we are going to start a new section, absolute value and exponentiation. So we have developed the system of rational numbers, and we have proved all the basic things that can be proved in this system. And in this system we now have the four basic operations of addition, multiplication, subtraction and division. We also have an ordered relation which allows us to decide which rational number is greater than which one, less than which one, and such things. Now using these basic operations we can define more operations, and the most natural are these two, absolute value and exponentiation. So the section starts with the definition of absolute value. So let us see that. Let x be a rational number. The absolute value, denoted like this, of x is defined as follows. If x is positive, then its absolute value is defined to be x itself. If x is negative, then its absolute value is defined to be equal to minus x. And if x is 0, then the absolute value of x is defined to be equal to 0. Now since from trichotomy of rational numbers we know that a rational number is either positive or negative or 0, and exactly one of these three possibilities is true at a given moment or for a given rational number. So this is a well-defined definition. There is no problem with this. Now immediately using this notion of absolute value, one can define the notion of distance. So that gives us the next definition. Let x and y be rational numbers. The quantity absolute value of x minus y is called the distance between x and y. Okay, it's called the distance between x and y. This distance is sometimes also denoted like this, d of x comma y, as a function of two inputs two rational numbers x and y. That is, this is defined to be the absolute value of x minus y. For instance, distance between the two rational numbers 3 and 5 is, by definition, this 3 minus 5. You may be tempted to write 5 minus 3, but we don't know whether that is the that will be equal to absolute value of 3 minus 5, because so far we don't have any property of absolute value or anything. We are going to see those properties. So we have to apply the definition directly and just use what we know. Now we know that this difference 3 minus 5 is minus 2. Now since minus 2 is a negative integer, so minus 2 is also a negative rational number, and that's why using this part of the definition, this is minus of minus 2, so that this is equal to 2. Okay, now we are going to look at some basic properties of absolute value and distance. So this is proposition 433. Basic properties of absolute value and distance. Let x, y and z be rational numbers. Okay, there are some parts, and these parts have some natural names. Non-degeneracy of absolute value. We have this. The absolute value of any rational number is either positive or equal to 0. It is never negative. Also, the absolute value of a rational number is 0 if and only if the rational number itself is 0. In fact, because of this we say that absolute value is non-degenerate, or it has non-degeneracy. A non-zero rational number can never have 0 absolute value. So because of this part, it will then have positive absolute value, which is also a rational number. Okay, then another even more important one is triangle inequality. For absolute value, the absolute value of the sum of two rational numbers is always less than or equal to the sum of their absolute values. The name triangle inequality stems from the situation in plane Euclidean geometry, where if you have a plane triangle, you know a geometric property of plane triangles is that if the triangle is a normal triangle like this one, where the three vertices are not lying on a same line, that is if they are not collinear, or in other words if the triangle is non-degenerate, it's a normal looking triangle, then the sum of the lengths of any two sides is greater than the length of the third side. It's from that property this has come. Exactly why it's called triangle inequality, we will see that much later. Okay. Okay, then part C. We have the inequalities minus y less than or equal to x, that is less than or equal to y, if and only if absolute value of x is less than or equal to y. In particular, in place of y we can take absolute value of x also, because then we will have equality. So that means because this inequality is equivalent to these inequalities, so here also we can take absolute value of x. In particular, we have this. This part does not have any name. In part D, this again has a name. Multiplicativity of absolute value. The function absolute value respects multiplication in the sense that the absolute value of the product of two rational numbers is equal to the product of their absolute values. In particular, if in place of y you take the integer minus 1, then you get this. From this identity, absolute value of minus x is the same as the absolute value of x. We will have to prove all these things. Then part E. Okay, now we talk about distance. Non-degeneracy of distance. We have this. Also, d of x comma y is equal to 0 if and only if x is equal to y. Finally, part F, there is a triangle inequality for distance also. We have d of x comma z is less than or equal to d of x comma y plus d of y comma z. In fact, this may tell us how the name triangle inequality is actually arises. If you have a triangle like this, a plane triangle, suppose you have ABC, the property that tells us that, say, length of AB is less than the length of BC plus length of AC actually gives us this in this particular case. I mean, well, I cannot say actually gives us this because these are rational numbers. I am just saying this as an analogy. In place of the rational numbers x and z, if we had points, okay, if we have had geometric points on the plane, then you can see the analogy. There we have that property, here we have this property. Distance between A and C is less than or equal to distance between A and B plus distance between B and C, and that's what the geometric property is. The two things are not, I mean, we cannot say at this stage at least that they are directly related or that this follows from this, no, because these are geometric points and these are rational numbers. But since we know, most of us know that rational numbers and also real numbers, which we will develop, can be put into a one-to-one correspondence with the geometric points on a line, and that's how we get the real line, using which we can draw graphs and do other things. So in that sense, these can be thought of as points on a line, rational numbers. And then you notice one more thing, non-degeneracy of distance. In that sense, if we think of distance as ordinary distance, that we know what this word means in ordinary life, what we mean by distance, then these properties make sense. For example, distance is always either positive or zero, and also distance is zero if and only if the points are at the same place, they are the same thing. Distance between two different points should not be zero, and that's what gives non-degeneracy to this function d. And triangle inequality can be made sense in using that analogy. So it makes sense to call the quantity absolute value of x minus y distance in the usual sense, because it satisfies these properties. We will see more about this analogy and how this whole thing can be generalized to form something called metric spaces. Okay, we will see in this book itself. Now the proof is entirely an exercise. In fact, it's the first exercise here. For proof, see exercise 431. So we will handle it there itself. Okay. Now absolute value can be used. Apart from defining distance, it can also be used to measure how close one rational number is to another rational number. And for our use, we are going to now for our future use, we are now going to use the idea of distance to define something called epsilon closeness. Okay, and it comes in this next definition. This is definition 434. Let epsilon x and y, all of them be rational numbers, and let epsilon be a positive rational number. We say that x is epsilon close to y, or y is epsilon close to x if this distance is less than or equal to epsilon. If this happens, then we say that y is epsilon close to x. That means y is within a distance of epsilon from x. The actual distance may be less than epsilon, or it may be equal to epsilon. Now a remark about this definition. The above definition is not standard in mathematical texts. Not standard means in the sense that you will likely not find this definition in any other text, unlike rational numbers. For example, everyone recognizes rational numbers and everyone knows what a rational number is, and the definition is unanimously, universally accepted. So this epsilon closeness is not something like that. It has been defined in this text only to help us understand some things later on more clearly. So we will use it. It's somewhat like that, these symbols, the one we used while defining an integer and the one we used while defining a rational number. Once our job is done, once we achieve what we are after, we will discard this symbol. Similarly, epsilon closeness will also be discarded once we get to the more standard and useful operations of limits, differentiation, those things. We will use it as scaffolding to construct more important notions. Such as limits, and say Cauchy sequences. We will see what these things mean later on. And once we have those more advanced notions, we will discard epsilon closeness. Okay, now we look at an example. This is example 436. The rational number 0.99 is 0.1 close to the rational number 1.01, but is not 0.01 close. Because the distance between 0.99 and 1.01 is this is equal to so this is clearly less than 0.1. So these two rational numbers are 0.1 close to each other. However, the distance between them is not less than or equal to 0.01. So they are not 0.01 close. These are rational numbers. Okay, you notice that carefully. This is 99 divided by 100, and this is 101 divided by 100. We are using decimal representation to write these things, although decimal representation is something that needs to be carefully developed from all the things that we are doing and all the things we will do. It's not something that comes as a consequence of whatever we are doing in a very easy manner. It's not easy, but since we are so familiar with decimal system, so we are using decimal system to write these things. But keep in mind, mathematics can be studied and can be developed using decimal system or any other number system, binary system, octal, hexadecimal system. In any system you can develop mathematics. It's independent of the system in which you are writing the symbols or the numbers. The results continue to be the same, but because of our familiarity with decimal system, we are using numbers, or in some small examples we are using concrete numbers and writing them in decimal system. Okay, the rational numbers 2 and 2 are epsilon close for any positive rational number epsilon. Okay, next comes a point. We do not define epsilon closeness when epsilon is 0 or negative. If epsilon is 0, then x and y are epsilon close if and only if, because distance between x and y has to be less than or equal to epsilon, which in this case is 0. You see this, for x and y to be 0 close, we should have this. But from that previous proposition, we already have the fact that this is greater than or equal to 0. So that means using antisymmetry of equality, this must be equal to 0, which again using non-degeneracy gives us x equal to y. So two rational numbers are 0 close if and only if they are the same. So taking epsilon equal to 0 actually does not give us anything interesting. If and only if x is equal to y, and if epsilon is negative, however, then x and y are never epsilon close, because the distance can never be less than or equal to a negative rational number, and that's because using non-degeneracy we see that the distance is always non-negative, are never epsilon close. There is something else also written in the text. In any event, it's a long-standing tradition to use the Greek letters epsilon and delta to mean small positive numbers. So that's why we have chosen epsilon to be positive. Small, the adjective small of course is something vague, because if we say a number is small, then that does not tell us anything mathematically. Positive, however, is a well-defined concept. One more thing that I want to add here is that epsilon is used for the word error and delta is used for the word difference. Okay, because these are Greek E and D. So in a particular context, we will see when we define the concept of a limit, there we will see that epsilon and delta will be used in the sense of error and difference. Okay, now just like some properties of absolute value and distance we have seen, we are now going to see some basic properties of epsilon closeness. But before that, let me refill. So this is proposition 437. Let x, y, z and w be rational numbers. Part A. If x is equal to y, then x is epsilon close to y for every epsilon greater than 0. Conversely,